We absolutely smashed 1,000 subscribers, and now we're on the road to 2,500, where I'll be doing yet another giveaway. All you've got to do to enter is like this video and subscribe. Hey guys, what's up? JSpartan here with episode 6 of Use or Fuse. In this episode, the star is Brutus, as we have now moved on to the Maulers. So we're doing the Maulers now, guys. So first Brutus, then Kasos, then Verk, and so on. So yeah, guys, this episode is Brutus. So as always, guys, we're going to start with the story, and this one's called The Blood Claw. So Brutus is a proud, solitary fighter, such the embodiment of martial prowess that many of the other Maulers see him as a manifestation of war itself. He follows the way of the warrior, neither offering nor expecting mercy. He believes that the only crime in war is to lose. In battle, he is unrelentingly aggressive and never wastes a moment on hesitation. His attacks are a savage whirlwind, cutting down his helpless enemies like stalks of wheat. When a sword is in his hand and an enemy before him, he never feels doubt. The path is clear and his purpose is known. Brutus is truly unparalleled among his people, and he has amassed countless glories. In days past, he would stand over a fallen adversary and roar his victory at the sky, hoisting aloft a blood-soaked trophy. Eventually, however, that sense of triumph vanished. There came a time when Brutus saw every fighter as a foregone conclusion. He would match blades of an opponent for a fleeting instant, then strike him down, barely taking note of the moment. He was simply too good at this point. Without challenge, there could be no triumph. Without triumph, there was little incentive to do the right thing that he was best at. In a campaign against the kingdom of man, Brutus finally found what he sought, a worthy adversary. A fight worth fighting, finally a match. The enemy was a short distance away, in the thick of the chaos. When he moved, Maulers fell. Light glinted off at the scratches in his body armour. He was large for a human, but graceful. It looked almost like a dance as he moved fluidly from victim to victim. His attacks were precise and deadly, his sword disappearing and reappearing buried in some foe. A moment later, parrying an attack before tracing a following arc into an effortless hamstring. Brutus stood appreciating the scene for a moment, blood still running down the grooves in his blade, and smiled. He hefted the massive weapon and started walking purposefully towards the enemy champion, offhandedly cutting down those who came before him, never taking his eye off his target. He approached and brought his steel down hard, the man moving aside just in time and immediately bringing the point of his blade to bear, which in turn was parried with lightning speed. They stepped back at the same time, each having confirmed that he'd met his match. It only took an instant to access and appreciate one another. Then Brutus launched himself back towards the knight. They fought with everything they had, each knowing that the first to make a mistake would die, neither willing to take that role. An area formed around them in the fighting, soldiers of both sides avoiding the dance of death in the two heroes were performing. There was no room for planning, for thought. They fought with heart and memory instinct, each lost in experience. They remained in this state until a horn blast cut over the din of battle, the light bearers sound of retreat. With a final job that seemed almost like a formality, the knight disengaged. "Human, you are strong, you are worthy of a death on my sword," he shouted, nodding generally to the dirt street knight. "I will see you again, and it shall be the last time." He had finally found respect for an opponent. He smiled and turned away, something to look forward to. A true warrior accepts any challenge. So basically, Brutus is this massacre that he can just destroy anyone, and then finally meets his match, and the battle gets called off, so they never actually find out who wins. But guys, let me know in the comments, who do you think that light bearer was? Do you think it was, do you think it was any of these? Do you think it was Thane? Do you think it was Lucius? I mean, it may be something that we haven't even heard of yet in this game. But for all we know, guys, it could have been Lucius or Thane. Next, we'll move on to Brutus' skills and to discuss whether he is a use or fuse hero. So when I first started this game, guys, Brutus was the one and only hero that I really wanted. I didn't actually get him until recently, but when I was playing this game for the first 2 or 3 weeks, I just wanted Brutus so badly, because in the campaign he would just always destroy my team. So Brutus is a tank, and he's not your usual kind of tank though. He's a tank that does a lot of damage per second, rather than sort of defending your team. He's one of those heroes that can be immune for a while, take all of the damage, and then whilst he's doing that, just lash out at the enemies. That's why I really wanted him, because when he's doing his spin with his sword, he's just like, he destroys my team all the time. And I've actually just managed to get Brutus legendary, so he's currently the tank that I use in my team. So his first skill is Whirlwind. Brutus hacks at his enemies twice before spinning into a frenzy, dealing damage to them. So basically this is the skill that Brutus uses when he just wipes out my tank and then the person behind him as well. It deals crazy damage, guys. Brutal Defiance. Brutus's damage output is raised according to how low his health falls. So basically, the lower his health goes, the more damage he can deal. And that is a really good skill to have. Next skill is called Roar. So he lets out a terrifying roar that causes enemies to become more vulnerable. Any physical damage dealt to the enemies is increased by 25%. So basically it's a buff skill. Any physical damage to the enemies is increased by 25%. And his last skill is Last Gasp. When Brutus is dealt a fatal blow, he's able to retain 1 health point and is immune to all damage for 4 seconds. And then at level 2, 7 seconds, level 3, 8 seconds. So when Brutus becomes immune, the enemies are still attacking him, but they aren't dealing any damage. So he's basically acting like a tank when he's using this skill. And if you've got Brutus, you'll know how good of a tank he can be. And he's not a hero that I would ever fuse to make any other hero, because end game, start game, he is literally early game. Any time in the game, Brutus is a hero I would always like to have. You know, maybe you could argue that early to mid game, Savias is a really good hero to have, but he can't reach mythic like Brutus can. And that's why I personally think that Brutus should never be fused and is definitely a used hero. And if you've got Brutus, then congratulations to you, because I'd say other than Lucius, he is the best tank in the game. And the reason that I rank Lucius higher than Brutus, tank-wise anyway, is because Lucius actually is like a full-on tank. He can prevent damage, he can heal. He's just the perfect tank to have. But Brutus, for damage, definitely guys, definitely get Brutus. Thanks for watching, guys. This was episode 6. Next time, it will be all about Ksos. I'll see you guys in the next video.